Alan Stratton from Wood Turns. At a local wood turning club meeting, I picked up this piece of elm. Elm hasn't been my favorite wood because it has not been good to me, at least with the pieces I've had to date. There's been a lot of cracks and wind shakes and checks in it, to where I have not successfully gotten a large bowl from it. I hope that I can do better with this one. This is green. It has had end grain sealer applied, however, they are starting to have checks on the bottom on both ends. So I need to turn this quickly, at least to a rough state, maybe to a finished state. I have not decided which yet. Now, if this were a natural edge, this would be the top, and the edges of the bowl would retain the bark. Not sure I'll do that this time. I just want to get a good bowl out of it. And so we'll make this the top of the bowl, and we'll take off all the bark on this piece and see what we can get out of it. And let's go. Let's turn of it bowl.
I'll use a faceplate to start this bowl. Sometimes I just mount the wood between centers, but a faceplate seems appropriate this time. But I will not be able to easily adjust the bowl if it becomes necessary. Using a tape measure to measure from faceplate to edge, I'm approximating a center. I don't see the need for any adjustment right now. Then I'm mounting it and tracing a circle to guide a bandsaw. It's slightly too big, but I trace enough. I always leave a bit larger than necessary because I don't want to risk it being smaller than necessary. Then saw off the corners and ends. The saw exposes some large cracks. They look like drying checks. I've traced a few to try to estimate their extent, but I'm worried. Then to work with a gouge. As I remove enough bark, I'm again tracing the cracks. I'm still worried. I've not had great luck with elm. Still more cracks exposed. They don't seem to be going away. This may be a much smaller bowl than I had thought. The rim is a bit ragged with some defects. I'm cutting it back a bit, but leaving some of the defects. At last, I think I am into solid wood. This time I'll cut a mortise for mounting to my squirrel chuck. Still some bad cracks. I'll cut off more of the bottom sapwood. Still bad cracks. I guess this bowl will be much more shallow than expected. Let's do the mortise another time. No big deal on the mortise. The cracks are gone, and I can take the final cuts on the exterior before switching to a bowl scraper. Time to power sand. I'm using a 2-inch pad, although a 3-inch may be better. When I started power sanding bowls, it took a while to get the feel of it and stop bouncing. Now I like it. It does make short work of an unpleasant task on a bowl of this size. I'll take time now to apply walnut oil to the exterior. It's starting to look quite nice. I'm removing the faceplate and reversing the bowl. I got a bit aggressive and had to retighten the chuck. No problem. I'll just take it a little more gently. I'm hollowing with my large bowl gouge. Finally, I switched to a heavy bowl scraper to smooth out any remaining ridges. Then power sand the interior before applying walnut oil to the interior. The potential for turning bowls like this is why I purchased a large lathe. Not much can beat the beauty of a large bowl. Finally, I'm reversing the bowl the final time to clean up the foot. My shop-made coal jaws do a good job of holding the bowl, but a low RPM keeps it safe. After sanding, I'm taking a short break to sign the bottom with my wood burning pen. A final touch of fine sandpaper, then a little more walnut oil. After it dries a couple of days, I'll buff it to a nice sheen. This bowl has turned out to be about 11 inches in diameter and 3 inches high. It did shrink a lot from the blank that barely fit on my 20-inch capacity lathe. The wood was not as wet as I expected, so it has not shrunk or distorted. Of course, the price was tooling out all the drying cracks and getting a smaller bowl, but it is a beauty. We'll see you again next week for another wood turning video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends. Always wear your full face shield. Goggles are not enough. Then keep on turning. Until next week, this is Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns.